From first graders in Newtown. First graders.
President Obama fighting tears, remembering the most painful moments of his presidency.
And from every family who never imagined that their loved one would be taken from our lives by a bullet from a gun. Every time I think about those kids, it gets me mad. We're also expanding background checks to cover violent criminals who try to buy some of the most dangerous firearms by hiding behind trusts and corporations and various cutouts. We're also taking steps to make the background check system more efficient. Under the guidance of Jim Comey and the FBI and our Deputy Director, Tom Brandon at ATF. Number 3, we're going to do more to help those suffering from mental illness get the help that they need. So, high-profile mass shootings tend to shine a light on those few mentally unstable people who inflict harm on others, but the truth is that nearly 2 in 3 gun deaths are from suicides. And that's why we're going to invest $500 million to expand access to treatment across the country. It's also why we're going to ensure that federal mental health records are submitted to the background check system and remove barriers that prevent states from reporting relevant information. It's also why we're going to ensure that federal mental health records are submitted to the background check system. It's also why we're going to ensure that federal mental health records are submitted to the background check system. If we can continue to destigmatize mental health issues, get folks proper care, and fill gaps in the background check system, then we can spare more families the pain of losing a loved one to suicide. Number 4, we're going to boost gun safety technology. Today, many gun injuries and deaths are the result of legal guns that were stolen or misused or discharged accidentally. In 2013 alone, more than 500 people lost their lives to gun accidents, and that includes 30 children younger than 5 years old. Now, in the greatest, most technologically advanced nation on earth, there is no reason for this. We need to develop new technologies that make guns safer. If we can set it up so you can't unlock your phone unless you got the right fingerprint, why can't we do the same thing for our guns?
Well, as the gun control debate continues in Washington, a Georgia company has what it says is the answer to make guns safer without putting any restrictions on the owner.
41 NBC's Kat Warnke reports on this state-of-the-art technology that could be the wave of the future. It's a story you'll see only on 41.
The technology of the gun has been around for hundreds of years, designed for a very specific purpose. But a new technology might be changing the old way of how we use the weapons without compromising their integrity or safety. Meet the guys behind Safe Gun Technology, a group who has designed a fingerprint scanner to go on your gun so you decide who fires your weapon.
German-based company Armatix has recently announced its smart gun system capable of determining whether it is being held by its owner could hit the market within 45 days. And because of a 2003 law, New Jersey could be the first state in the nation to adopt smart gun technology, requiring all firearms to be smart guns. The state's biometric gun law, signed by former Governor James McGreevey, requires all guns sold in the state to be equipped with biometric technology that allows only their owners to fire them. But the law has remained unenforceable because until now, no such guns have existed.
Regardless of the staggering numbers, so far gun rights advocates have vehemently rejected the sale of any kind of smart gun in the U.S. In fact, Engage Armament, a gun shop here in Maryland, was supposed to become the first seller to offer the specialized gun. But after severe bullying and even death threats, the owner decided to pull the gun from the shelf. Analysts say that outrage stems out of fear over a controversial New Jersey gun law. In 2002, the state passed a trigger law mandating that all handguns be personalized within 3 years of a smart gun going on sale anywhere in the U.S. Many gun owners are against any legislative mandates on what kind of gun has to be purchased, and they worry that the New Jersey law could one day be adopted across the country.
Now I'll introduce the RFID tag.
TriggerSmart uses similar wireless technology like what's in electronic toll readers to unlock its guns.
And now the gun is ready to fire.
The chip can be worn in the form of a ring on your finger or a bracelet. Now they're starting to embed chips in humans there in the fatty part of the hand.
Let's get to our next guest. Gun stocks are once again surging as the president prepares to reveal new gun control measures. The president is expected to announce executive actions in a speech today to restrict gun sales by unlicensed dealers, hoping to tighten the so-called gun show loophole. Businesses that sell guns would have to obtain a federal license and conduct background checks on all customers. The White House will also add more FBI agents and staff to carry out the increased background checks. So let's bring in Senior Advisor to President Obama, Valerie Jarrett. Valerie, Happy New Year. Good to have you on.
Happy New Year to you. Thank you, Mika.
For how long now? This is the proposal they've spent 7 years putting together. They're really not doing anything. What's your response to that?
Well, my response is that they should all spend some time talking to the families of victims of gun violence. Mika, we lose 30,000 people a year to gun violence, 2/3 of those through suicide. And what the president has said is he's going to take whatever steps he can within his authority to keep guns out of the hands from those who shouldn't have them, to make our community safe, to ensure that we're providing the mental health resources that we need to make sure that Americans are as healthy as they can be, and to invest in smart technology.
So Valerie, what
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and I'd like to share with you one of the little-known secrets of the top professional speakers, and it is called the power of the pause. Now, in speaking, the drama and power of the speech is contained in the silences that you create as you move from point to point. And this is an art that you can learn with practice. When you are more relaxed, you speak slower, you pause regularly, and you have a deeper and more authoritative tone of voice as either a man or a woman. Now, there's nothing as attention-grabbing as a pause. When you pause, you bring people up short. They mentally trip and fall into the silence that you have created.
I was just about to ask you about, Valerie. The president had goals coming into office, and mass shootings have become like a daily occurrence in this country. It's not even, we don't even report on them all. And yet, would you consider this to be one of his greatest frustrations in terms of what he's been able to accomplish or not in his presidency?
Oh, Mika, absolutely. The day that we traveled up to Newtown, 2 days after that massacre, was the worst day of his presidency. Just thinking about it makes me tear up, and we'll have families who suffered great loss that day who will be here with us here at the White House. We have families from all across the country who will be with us here. Gabby Gifford will be with us here. You hear their stories and what the devastation of gun violence has done to communities across our country and to families. It's just, the devastation is immeasurable. The pain is immeasurable.
They immediately give you back their full attention. Each time you pause, go silent, smile, you get them to recenter themselves on you and what you are saying. For instance, the dramatic pause is used to make a particular point stick in the minds of your audience. You can use a dramatic pause immediately before delivering an important point, and you can use a dramatic pause immediately afterwards to allow people to absorb the importance of what you just said.
Improve the technology. If you can use a thumbprint to activate a telephone, why aren't we doing the same thing with our guns?
Now, I want to be absolutely clear at the start. I've said this over and over again. This also becomes routine. There's a ritual about this whole thing that I have to do.